This is likely my last ride I will ever do in Norway, or for that much, likely never to go back to Norway. And it's nothing negative about Norway, it's just that the traffic is so bad on the roads, and the roads are not built for the cars, the trucks, the motorhomes, much less the bicycles. And since the bicycle is the weak link, you're going to get hurt. So it's a shame, because Norway is absolutely, perhaps maybe the most breathtaking place on planet Earth that I've ever been to. I arrived in the Lofoten Islands via the ferry from Bodø, Norway. It was a rough, near 4-hour crossing, with the sea twisting the ferry fore and aft, port and starboard. At least 50% of the folks on board turned green, got sick, and attempted to weather the crossing out on the fantail. The weather is rough here, but when the sun shines, it makes up for all the foul weather. Temperature swings of 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit can happen from day to day. One thing for sure, expect it to be wet. The roads here are few. Generally, they follow the coastlines. There are tunnels when a hill becomes too steep or the terrain does not allow for a road to follow the coastline. The terrain is sheer granite mountains shooting up from the oceans. There was still some snow up high, and every place was covered in waterfalls cascading back to the ocean. In a single day, it was not uncommon to ride from one weather system and into another. The sheer steepness of the mountains making up this chain of islands somehow traps weather patterns.
Come and go, so let this feeling grow. Finally see what we've always known, so let this feeling grow. Come and go, so let this feeling grow. Finally see what we've always.
Once I got off the E highway system and onto the more secondary roads, the riding became much more pleasant. It's a shame it's not possible to ride the Lofotens without having to get on the E highways. Prices here are expensive. I was told Norway is the most expensive place on earth, and I didn't see anything to alter that notion. Most of my meals were whatever I could find in a grocery store, cooked in a single pan, offered the maximum in calories, and was filling. Fine dining didn't play into it. I would try to eat lunch, most times at small cafes, or from food at a gas station to change things up from the rice and beans with some dried mystery meat wrapped in a tortilla for dinner. Breakfast was peanut butter and jelly burritos. As you can tell, I was living high on the hog. The best meal I had in Norway was at a cafe that was located in a campground. It was noon, and I was riding along. My low sugar light was blinking, so I was looking for food. I ordered the moose sandwich, not knowing what to expect and not expecting much at this location. When it was served, it had to have been the most beautiful presentation of food I've ever been presented, and it was almost too pretty to eat, but I did so anyway. I arrived in Tromsø, Norway, and the first item of business was to secure a bicycle box. I was shocked to find out, but I was going to be forced to have to pay for a box, and 20 bucks. I finally had one in my possession. After that, I just took a few days off in Tromsø. It rained a lot, but the sun did come out, and the day that I left was a nice clear day. And it really afforded me the opportunity to look down and see exactly what I'd been riding in, and it is extremely rough country. But it was covered in snow, a few glaciers, and just beautiful. I cannot overemphasize just the beauty of this landscape, and it is a place that I would highly recommend everyone to come to, but make sure you're prepared to pay the price because it is expensive. I arrived in Frankfurt. Actually, I got to Frankfurt about 7 or 8 days earlier than I had anticipated or pre-planned. But the expense of Norway was such that it was just going to be about at least half the price being in Germany for a little over a week than had it been if I would have stayed in Norway. So I came to Germany. I'm hanging out in Frankfurt, seeing the sights. So far the weather's been pretty nice, and looks like I'm going to have good weather for the remainder of my time in Europe.